Hi, folks. Welcome back. This is William here at Chalmette Movies for ReelTalk NOLA, and we're going to start our review of...
Rock of Ages.
Get him to the Greek, too.
No, that was Rock of Ages.
Russell Brand.
Yeah, but Alec Baldwin and Tom Cruise.
Right. No. Oh,
musical.
That's right. I was just getting
musical,
that. I was just getting that.
Music.
I was just getting that vibe because Russell Brand was one of the only decent things about this movie.
You got to remember, this was a musical, not something about music.
It's true.
You know.
No furry wall.
You know what you just did there.
No,
this was a musical, but not about music.
Yeah.
Because this was horrible.
Jumbo shrimp.
So
let's start on your end of the spectrum because I want to get this out of the way. This is one of the first things I noticed about it. Let's talk cinematography first. Like just even the way it was set up. Yeah.
Awful. There's too many crane shots to begin with. There's all these cranes and moving around.
Well,
it's
because they keep leaving the club and they do the street view with crane shots. Yeah.
And it was a lot of it was unwarranted, not needed. And as you point out, it seems like they're filming.
They felt like filming from the orchestra pit of a Broadway stage, like they were trying to give it a Broadway feel.
Like this
but they got lazy with it, like they were playing to it too much, as though you were a person sitting in a Broadway, like they were dancing for you.
You know what I thought it was? It was like they did those shots probably first to establish, and since you have the talents of Alec Baldwin and Tom Cruise in the scene, it was like, well, we can't really get them to finagle more than one acting scene, so we'll just go with the establishing shot.
But it was just
the egos are too huge.
It was just ridiculous, though. Like
Tom Cruise wanted to go jump on couches and talk about how much he loved Katie Holmes. Sorry.
I love this woman.
Yeah.
I mean, so we talked about the cinematography. Now let's talk about the actual movie itself.
You talk cinema. Let's talk about the editing real quick.
Okay.
Before we go into the movie. You have all these high-paced rock ballads coming through, and right like in the beginning of the movie, and then it just cuts suddenly into like a story, and it just throws you out of the whole movie. Like Grease has done this well, Rent did it well. Like you have these I think a lot better than this movie. All right, it had these transitions from rock.
Let's not say well, because that puts it in the green territory. Let's say better than some.
Yeah, but I'm saying is like you just have this pacing from the high energy music to the story is transitioned better. But this one's almost like cut. All right,
and
story,
there's almost no supporting cast as far as the development and everything like that. Things just happen to these main characters, and they go from point to point, and the strings really aren't tied together. It's like a movie should be like a spinal cord, just like a bunch of intricate wires tied together that help provide a function.
Right.
These are just freaking arteries. They just go everywhere, man.
I mean, I don't know how good the musical was, but this movie.
The musical was very different and had a different tone altogether. Huge hit on Broadway. Not a big fan of the concept, but it's a huge hit on Broadway. And then they go in, and not only that, they even changed the story completely for the movie. Yeah, the ending is completely different. Without spoiling it for everybody, the ending's totally different.
Yeah. But you know what? Just real quick, who wants to see Tom Cruise's?
Yeah, I didn't need to know what color Tom Cruise's head hair was.
Yeah.
So
we're not talking about chest either.
Yeah, leather pants are not favorable. And
this area.
Using a woman's upper extremities as a mic, that was interesting.
Yeah.
And but on top of all that, let's talk about the singing itself. Alec Baldwin cannot sing. He does talk singing. And it's not, I'm not shooting it down, but it's a musical, so it's kind of a major point.
Yeah.
Russell Brand was okay. He was okay, and not only that, he doesn't sing too much, and not only that, he has all the comic relief stuff in the movie, which my favorite line was...
Which makes sense, because he's the comedian in the movie.
My favorite line was like 10 minutes into the movie where he's talking about the main male lead. He goes, how come I have to go out and do garbage all the time? He goes, because you're an artist, man. You got to go out and suffer. He goes, I have no talent, so suffering's wasted on me. Like, I was just laughing at the quips like that.
Yeah.
And so he did well. Alec Baldwin acted well. He didn't sing well. Tom Cruise did okay acting, but that storyline was completely wasted. Right. And then
Paul Giamatti did Paul Giamatti.
Whatever. Like you could.
I think him and Bryan Cranston were there just to collect a paycheck.
But let's go back to this thing. I'm getting on a tangent here. And then you have the two main people where it's like listening to Britney Spears cover all your favorite 80s rock.
Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, and I was just like, I'm
not
not
interested. Justin Timberlake at that, because Justin Timberlake actually has some
Boys.
talent. Boys. I was like,
you'll get it when you see it.
Right when I saw that, I was like, that's New Kids on the Block reference.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
New Kids on the Blocks,
Things that end in Z, baby. Yeah. And so, given all that, I'm still going to give it a yellow. If it's on DVD and you're a fan of Broadway.
You're giving it a yellow.
Fan of Broadway.
I gave it a matinee. I'm pushing it way back to TV. Because I was in the movie, I'm watching, I looked at my watch. That's the problem. I had work to do for school, and I'm like in there, was bored. And I was thinking about, I gotta go write this research paper. Movies are not supposed to do that. They're supposed to make you have escape. And I was like, that's My Boy's about to start. I could go catch that before it begins, because this is so awful.
However, if you don't see this movie, how will you know what love is?
Oh God.
By the way, Bryan Cranston, he got his contractually obligated underwear sequence in there.
Yeah.
Bryan Cranston plays the mayor of LA, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to shut down the Bourbon Room, which is the club that everything's going on in, because they want to retake the Strip and they want to make it a family-friendly town. It turns out he was a big punk, big grunge rocker back in the day. Used to be a good thing, and now he's just a sex fiend. And then his wife.
Don't ruin it. That.
Yeah, his wife is also.
She plays like all
she
those.
Plays. She plays the prim and proper, but there's like this Tipper Gore type deal. Yeah. But there's something under there that they reveal later on. So anyway.
Awful. So I give it a TV. You give it a DVD.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't expect that.
Seriously, we're growing.
Yeah.
Every episode, grow and grow.
Yeah. All right, so we'll be back here with more at Shamet Movies.